Hi there, and welcome to another video in, well, two series really, because this is both N-Gauge and budget model railway. So any of you that have been following the videos, you'll have seen these hills that I bought as resin castings, and I was very pleased with the way I painted them. And then I had a go using filler to scratch build this panel. So what I want to do now is decided to have a go. Wasn't sure how to do this hill, so I'm going to have a go at using the filler to do a big rocky hillside. Not tried this before, so any of you that have seen some of our earlier videos, you know, particularly of Greenhill Hall, you know we try things and see how they work. So this may work, this may not. So what I'm using again is all-purpose ready mix filler. That happens to be a Wix one, and I've also got as a backup here, that came from Poundland, so that cost £1. So this is very much in our cheap range. As you know, the hill's been made from free cardboard out of a skip, so that so far cost us nothing. So what I'm going to try and do is just see if this will come out and stick to the hillsides enough to look realistic. I think we probably should have filled that hillside first, but that's why I'm doing it, so that we can see what works and what doesn't work. So already I know that scraper is not so great because it's a bit uncomfortable on the hands, but it is filling the hill in quite well. Let's try this one. Yeah, and hopefully by sticking it in the corrugations a bit, that will help to key it in. So we're going to use the Mark 1 scraper there, which is obviously the finger. And we'll use that as a base level. So when I've got this in, then what we'll try and do is add some more detail on the front. There we go. So what I'm going to do is do that one and then do the one down below. Phone's gone off, so I don't know if that's still. Okay, so we just do the same down here. And then I haven't put anything on the river because I was trying to get my head around the, if you like, the project management side of this. Do you finish the river and then do this? But what I've decided is to do this first so I can clear the river off, because you can see the mess that the river's getting in down there. I'm going to put a wall very similar to the harbour along there, so I figure that I can just neaten the edge up later. I don't know what that noise is. We're trying some new sound techniques here. Douglas has got very clever with a wireless microphone. You can film it if you like. Look, so it's looking all very professional, like a film crew. One day, if enough people like, comment, subscribe and view, of course we might have huge Hollywood budgets to do this, with lighting crews, and I can have a Stars caravan for all my makeup and everything before I start.
Proper awesome microphones, and not homemade ones made out of old headphones, cutting things off of them.
However, of course, that would then kind of go against the whole reason to art of budget model railways if you make me a great massive Hollywood star, but I'll live with that. So let's see what this is beginning to look like. Hopefully it's beginning to look a bit like a rough hillside, so I'm going to poke that in there so it fills that.
From my point of view, this is looking really good.
Well, the nice thing with this is already mixed. So in the old days we all used polyfiller, and what we tended to do, we always mixed too much and we didn't get the consistency right. So the idea, the great stuff with this is it's already pre-mixed, but it takes quite a while to dry. So we can put this in like this, and then we can shape it later. So I've read quite a lot of ways that people do this, and they let it dry and then they carve it. What I'm going to do is try carving it and moulding it while it's still wet. Now I'm going to leave this ledge here because I want to put some grass scatter on that and stick some trees in, so that it's not just a rock face. The edge is going to be a little bit of a problem. So let's have a look now and see if we can start making that look a little bit more rugged. So if we, now rocks tend to have this kind of horizontal planes in them. So let's try that, push it in a bit in a few places, roughen it up a bit. I don't really know, it's not quite jagged enough I don't think, we need to do that a bit more. Looking at the other one, yeah, I'm going to need to use some different tools on that I think to get a different look. Let's leave that like that. Let's see what else I can see lying around. Okay, we've got a lolly stick here. Let's have a go at that. Oh yeah, I quite like that. Yeah, that does some interesting shapes. So no expensive sculpting tools here. Been using a bit of old Formica and a sausage stick, lolly stick.
I have an idea. I'm just going to go and grab it really quick.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll carry on talking while my cameraman fetches me some more tools to have a go with. But that's not looking too bad. Neaten that edge up there a bit, fill the hole. Yep, quite pleased with that. Let's get the stuff off the river before that dries. Oh, that's interesting. So what we got here is a pebble from the beach. So what we're doing is just sticking that in and using that to do some rock effects. Which works very well actually, son.
Woohoo.
Yeah, that's good, I like that. That's good. Now it's difficult to see in the white. Once it's painted then you'll begin to see
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to see on
the
camera,
effect.
but it is there.
I'm just going to try and put a little bit here just to soften the edge a bit so that we don't have such a sharp artificial looking edge. Now whether that will dry and stick there I don't know. But I'm quite pleased with that so far. I think that's looking, you don't really know till you painted it is the only thing. So we'll leave that rock there. Just carry on softening the edge a little bit like that. But I think this is going to work quite well. I actually like doing the scenery. I'm a bit unusual. I read articles by people who say, you know, I don't make baseboards, or I don't do electrics, or I don't make locos, etc, etc. I just do this. And I have to say, since discovering model railways through Douglas a couple of years ago, having been a military and aviation modeller most of my life, I actually like all aspects of model railways. I like making baseboards, I like making scenery, I like making buildings, I like running locos, I like scratch building rolling stock. So I think it's a very good all-inclusive hobby. Yeah, I'm not unhappy with that. I think that looks quite good. So now we've got to decide whether we're going to do the same over this side. What do you think? Do we do the same here?
Yeah.
Let's do the same. Oh, mind you, we're going to cut the gap out there for the bridge.
Let's not do that now. Then.
No, we'll do this one. We'll leave that one to dry now, which means it'll be a little while before you can see it painted. Now what I'll do is we'll do you some photos and some film of this when it's dry.
Can you say this is part one?
This is going to be part one. Then the next part will be when it's painted, and we'll probably use stills photos to do that because it doesn't really need to be filmed. And because there's 3 stages, you've got the paint, the base coat of paint, the black wash, and then the dry brushing. And that's what we're just going to use that on that rock. I don't like that seam there, that's a bit artificial. That's better. Yeah, so we'll wait for that to dry and then we'll do some painting. As always, thank you for watching. If this works, I think it'll be quite a good little technique for people. I'm going to leave that as quite a sharp edge because actually I want to do the grass up here, so that won't look too bad in there. And that's going to be actually I'm just going to do that wall because that was going to be a retaining wall, but it will look better now as a rock face wall. So I don't know how we're going to do that because that's vertical. That's going to be a bit interesting. It's very experimental, this, because I haven't thought about this till now. No idea how we're going to do this. Don't think that's going to work. I think we may need to put a bit of a slope on that, because that's not working very well. I wonder if we can build it up from the bottom. Let's try doing it that way.
Make it thick at the bottom and tall at the top.
Yeah, make it thick at the bottom, give us a base. Now, one of the things I did wonder about, if this doesn't stick, I have read a few people who put PVA glue on first to give things something to stick against. So if this turns out that it doesn't fix very well to the cardboard, which looks like that might happen, then we'll try that as well next time round. Although that hill looks alright, to be honest. Doesn't look like we're going to have too many problems with that. So that's that. Now this will be a bit more laborious because this has got to be built up. Yeah, and it's not wanting to stick. So we may have to try something different there. If anybody likes getting messy though, it's a good job for getting messy.
Show the camera your hands.
Just
Damn. You'll get it right in.
yeah, comes off though. Washes off in warm water.
People can't hear me because of that microphone. They can only hear you.
I'm talking off camera to the cameraman if anybody wonders who we're talking to. So let's see if this is going to work. This is what I quite like, is just trying things for the first time, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. But I think that's how you learn. I think sometimes you've just got to do it. And sometimes not knowing you can't do it is great. Same with the inclines on Greenhill Halt, where we didn't know anything about inclines. If we'd known anything, we wouldn't have built it, because we'd have read the book and it would have said can't be done on that curve with that incline, and we wouldn't have built it. Because we didn't know, we just put a loco on it and it worked, so we built the incline. And sometimes I think you can almost have, oh, broke the stick, don't know my own strength, you can almost have too much knowledge. It's coming along. It's coming along. It'd be interesting to see whether it sticks.
Especially in the hot conservatory. Say that.
It is a bit hot in the conservatory, so we're in a conservatory here, so it does tend to dry out. Although the loft, which is also where our main layout's going, and I know a lot of people go, that has the same problem with heat. And the shed has a problem with being damp and cold, so I think unless you're in a fortunate position of having a room that you can have your railway in, you've probably not got a lot you can do. Right, that's a little bit blobby at the moment.
Car garage could work, couldn't it?
Yeah, a lot of the original layouts were designed to fit garages for just that reason. So let's just see what we can do here with
My pebble.
Pebble. Give us some rock faces. That's quite a good idea of yours, son. So what we got here is can you see that? Does that come in?
There.
Quite a jagged bit pebble off the beach. We're fortunate in that we live only about a quarter of a mile from the beach.
Well, I got it from the garden.
Apparently this one came from the garden, but it is a beach stone when you look at it. Just tidying up the top a little bit. I'm not unhappy with that. What we might try in a minute is a little bit more fiddly, which is trying to do the actual tunnel mouth.
That's going to be difficult.
That's going to be tricky. The only problem I have found, and I will show you this in later, but where this has gone on the roofing felt, it doesn't tend to come off very easily. And so where it's stuck on there, it's going to be a bit of a problem. Let's try picking some of this up and just sticking it on. Waste not, want not. It's going to make a bit of the mess of the river. We might have to redo the river. Yeah, I'm going to have to just try and get this stuff off of off the track here, because it does tend to mark it if it gets smeared. Yeah, it's relatively easy to overcome. You just paint it with grey paint. But yeah, there we go. Let's get that bit off.
Easier to get it off when it's wet.
It's easier to get it off when it's wet. Yeah. So that's our rock wall there. So next thing I'm going to try. Don't know if you can get into the tunnel mouth. Now you can see why some people make sure they do all this before they lay the track. Fortunately, that bit of track I can take out, but I have now got it on the track in the tunnel, which will need to be cleaned, which will be a little bit tricky.
Explain what you're doing.
So I'm just using the rock again to put some detail into the rock wall there. This is my tunnel mouth. So all I'm really doing is building it up a bit like, I believe, a bit like you do sculpture with clay. It's just to use balls of it in. Not very happy with that seam there. Let's see if we can just use the rock to... You need to just... There we go. That's better. A bit's falling away. We've got a rock slide.
Rock slide.
There we go. So I'm just using balls of this to build up the sides, because I've just realised we've got to do the same here against this side. Oh, I'm going to end up having to relay that bit of roofing felt. There we go. This will be the tricky one because there's nothing underneath it. So we might have to just see whether we can fold a piece over like that, which it looks like we probably can. There we go.
Now, are you going to do anything about the other side?
Yeah, just going to do the other side of it. So we just need to fill that. We are going to have to tidy up the track afterwards.
I wouldn't bother doing the other side because you can't see on the camera.
And then we won't do it because you've seen us do it there, but I'm just going to do this side here as well so that it matches.
No, don't bother showing it.
I'm just doing the...
Your head's in the way.
Oh, sorry. I'm just doing the rock face here over the top.
Your head's in the way.
Yeah, I can't help my head being in the way, son. There we go. Right, we'll stop filming now. I'm just going to do this piece while I'm here.
Explain that this was part one.
So this is part one, and it'll be probably 2 or 3 bits. Let's see how we go with the painting and things like that. So as always, like, comment or subscribe. We did have a very good gentleman the other day who commented on quite a lot of our videos, for which thank you very much.
What was he called? C2?
Something like that. You can see if you look online, and we've had some nice comments, including I commented on a really nice Engage layout that I saw in America that's had some nice comments from them, and always interested to know what people think.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Don't forget to like, comment or subscribe, and it'll be a couple of weeks now before we do the next one. I'm really busy with work for a couple of weeks. Real life tends to get in the way of model railways, but we will update when we can. If I get a bit more time this weekend than I thought, we might better do an update this weekend. As always, thank you very much for watching.